Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
It's really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, over 33 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there struggling with addiction, with recovery, and with their health. I'm here to give you services completely free. I'm a nutritional health coach, and I'm a recovery coach. Please, please reach out, okay? I'm here to help you. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And guys, subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. Now, before I introduce my incredible guests, let me give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. First, I have Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.stormandnormanselden.com, booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. From 5 to 12-piece band, guys. He's amazing. He's an incredible keyboardist, pianist, and a lot of people didn't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance started back in the day. Larry Chance listen, let me tell you something. Larry Chance from the Earls, he passed away. We all loved him. I became very close to Larry. Rest in peace, sir. We love you. Then we've got Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And guys, he also does Elvis for me, and they do fundraisers, and they don't even have to be asked, they offer. They're amazing, two beautiful people, guys. And then I've got John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of The Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. Okay, his Facebook page is Entertainment Luncheon South. Guys, it's by invite only, but it's $20. You get a meal and incredible entertainment, and we just love him. Thank you so much for what you do, Johnny B., you and Lenny. Then, Gene DiNapoli. Okay, he's putting on some shows, guys. He's an ETA, and he's incredible, an Elvis tribute artist. Okay, June 21st at 7:30 p.m., New Brunswick Performing Arts Center, Summer Serenade with Chris Ruggiero, 732-745-8000. And June 23rd, 3 p.m., the Egg Theater, Albany, New York, 518-475-1845, Summer Serenade with Chris Ruggiero. And then, June 23rd at 3 p.m., at the Landmark Theater, Port Washington, New York, 917-567-5842, the Duprees, Twin Gold, and the Clusters. And June 23rd at 7 p.m., guys. That's right, you heard me, 3 shows. The Landmark Theater, Port Washington, New York, 917-567-5842. Comedy Night, Fred Rubino and Friends, Nick Petito and Tugboat Manny. And the Landmark Theater shows, guys, if you mention Geri, put that in the discount code, you will get a discount. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce my incredible guest, Mell Schaer. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, how are you all doing?
How you doing?
Doing good. I'm feeling real good. I'm out here in San Diego. The weather's great as usual.
Wow. Okay. So you don't have like winter in the summer and summer in the winter and all that like New Jersey, right?
We don't. Our winters are pretty mild. The average temperature out here is 73, so that'll tell you how.
Wow.
It's kind of Mediterranean weather out here, so it's kind of neat.
That's amazing. Yeah. I wish I could be a snowbird at this point. I would be one. So listen, Mel, let's give a big shout out first off to Caden Gordon, because he's the one who introduced the two of us. And I just love you, Caden. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, sweetheart. You're doing incredible with everything you're doing out there, kiddo. Never stop. He's off the charts, isn't he, Mel?
Yes, he is, and he works hard. And what I like about Caden is when he's working with you, he's constantly checking to see if you're satisfied, if everything's going well, if there's anything else he can do. And I like that. Most of the time, he's doing a great job. I just say, yeah, you're fine, you know. But then if I do need something, he's right there. So it's
He's
really
amazing. He's amazing. For a young person, I don't know too many young people as incredible as he is with his work ethic. So
good. True that.
thank you, Caden. So, Mel, tell everyone, including me, a little about yourself.
All right. So I'm a father. I've got 4 children. I've got 3 grandchildren. I've been married for almost 40 years. So I have a very wonderful family. I have a few great friends, and I play in a country band out here, cover country band, and then I also write original music, and that goes under the title Red Crown Tours. That's my solo project stuff. So been playing, I don't know, 30 years or so. Been in tons and tons of bands. Had great experiences with music. Met great people, famous people, non-famous people. I just have a blast doing it, and it keeps me busy. Keeps me out of the rocking chair, as they say.
So, okay, I have some questions for you. So, tell us someone famous that you met.
I had a chance here in 2015. We were in a tribute band out here in San Diego called Skinner's Innards. We played Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
The drummer for Leonard Skinner, or one of the drummers, Artemis Pyle, he's the man that when they crashed in Mississippi there in Macomb, he ran for help. I think everybody kind of knows who Artemis is. But he came out and sat in with us and did, I think, 4 shows with us, 3 shows, and then we put on a drum clinic for him. So I had the opportunity. I primarily play bass in bands, and I got to play with a childhood hero.
Hold that thought. I don't interrupt usually, but I have to. Hold that thought. So what you're saying is you were doing a tribute to Leonard Skinner, and his drummer was drumming for you.
He came out and sat in with us. So the real drummer for Leonard Skinner sat in with my tribute band. And so I would look over as a bass player and go, how in the world this happened? Because when I was a kid, I would look at their record albums, and, you know, they were our heroes when we were younger, right? So that I got to meet him and play with him and get to know him. And to this day, I text back and forth to him, which is super cool. He'll send me pictures. I'm not chummy with him, but close enough where I can text him and he'll text back, hey, how you doing? So that's pretty cool.
Well, if he ever wants an interview, baby, send him my way, honey. Listen. How cool is that? I mean, even the thought of it gives me chills, right?
I'll tell you, it was, to this day, I'm like, how did that happen?
Right,
you know?
right. So name one more famous person.
Gosh, right off the top of my head, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, it's Steven Strasburg, the pitcher for the Nationals.
Yes.
I coached him as a little leaguer. And got to see him grow and develop. And then one day he got a $50 million contract. And it was funny. I was down Florida at a sales meeting. I used to sell medical supplies. And I'm sitting in the bar by myself on the big screen. Here's Steven pitching, and I had nobody to tell. But so that's somebody pretty
That's
famous.
pretty cool. That is
Uh,
pretty cool. Did that give you chills?
That blew me away.
Yes.
Because one point I was his coach and
Yeah.
his counselor, helping him through the trials and tribulation of being a little leaguer. And then the next thing, I'm in the audience watching him mow people down, and it was pretty cool. I mean, I saw him in Washington, D.C. My son and I took a road trip, and I got tickets to his baseball game, and he had the same mannerisms he had as a kid. And it was a sixth inning. He was leading. It was his birthday. They were getting ready to pull him out, and I knew they were going to pull him because he started scratching his back. And he would do that in Little League when his arm would get tired. He'd start rubbing his back, and then he'd run out of gas, and we'd pull him and put another pitcher in. And the same thing happened. I remember telling everybody, he's done. And they knew it, and they pulled him and let the next guy take over. So that was kind of cool.
Did you get to see him and talk to him?
I didn't bug him. He was working, and I didn't want to.
I would have bugged him. I'm a bugger. Oh, you have no idea. I'll run on the field and, oh, no, you should have bugged him.
I think all the young guys sitting around me thought I was just feeding them a big line, but I seriously just didn't want to bother him.
Yeah, men and women are different, man. I would bother them. But all right, so now, so let me ask you a couple questions about the music industry. Growing
Okay.
up, who were a few of your influences?
Well, my mother was my first musical influence. She played the organ, keyboard. And I remember when I was younger laying on the floor and she would play Girl from Ipanema and a lot of the other, because that was her era of music. So I kind of, that was my early influences. Other influences were the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Sure.
When I was 5. Pretend like I was singing in the backyard 8 days a week and can't get no satisfaction, whatever that song's called.
Yep. I can't get, no, go ahead, continue.
Then did you just want to know the influences I had? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when I moved to Oklahoma when I was 14 and we lived out in the country, I got heavily into Crosby, Stills and Nash, Stephen Stills. Frank Zappa was huge to me. Leonard Skinner.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I was the only 13-year-old kid that had ever heard Freebird before Freebird became big. My brother knew a radio DJ, and he'd always bring albums home. And I think he brought home Pronounced Leonard Skinner, the first album, before Sweet Home Alabama hit. So I was listening to Freebird before Sweet Home Alabama came out, if I remember it correctly. And none of my friends knew who they were. So that was cool. So I was with them from the very beginning. I love Tears for Fears.
Okay.
I would say their favorite band out of everything. And then country influences, Alan Jackson. I love Alan Jackson. I love, and Ray Price.
Okay.
I love older country quite a bit. Like the newer stuff too, but the older stuff still tells the story.
Okay.
And that's what I like. I like songs that tell story. That's what Leonard Skinner was great about. Ronnie Van Zant always told a story in his music. That's what we all seem to enjoy.
So, okay, so let me ask you something then. So, your music, so do you only sing country?
No, my
Okay.
first album, very eclectic. It was all over the place. I mean, I did rock and roll song. I wouldn't even know how to describe it. Cause I learned a bunch of music theory and I learned what chords went with what and scales went with what. And so I just sort of experimented with where I was at and whatever came out. And I know it probably has a genre somewhere, but it's real all over the board. And then I started playing in country cover bands and I got kind of zoned into country. So I started writing more of a country, but I'm not locked into country at all. In fact, I'd like to do a rock record. Everybody tells me you need to do a rock record.
Oh, okay.
When I
That's
get
pretty
there,
cool.
But my thing is I always wanted to write about 120 songs before I check out of this life. That'll keep me busy, and maybe somewhere along the lines, I'll write a real great one. But mainly, I want to put a catalog of music together so that my grandchildren and my great grandchildren will always be able to say, "Hey, that was Grandpa's voice," and
Oh,
and maybe they'll record my songs or sing my songs someday. But that's kind of why I do it. That's primarily why I do it. I'm too old to think about making it in the music business seriously.
do you talk about your age?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 63.
So am I. So you just
Yeah.
called me old.
Well, we're wise.
Producer, cut his mic now. He just called me old, okay?
No, we're full of wisdom. We know things that we wish we would have known when we were younger. So
No, you're right about that part. You're right
Not a
about that.
being older
Yeah.
at all.
So, all right. So now let me ask something before we play one of your songs. About how many songs have you already written?
Probably about 30
Okay, keep going, baby. You got a ways to go. Come on.
ways to go. That's why I set that goal high. And,
All right, because
I got-
you're getting old. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, All right. All right.
I've got an album coming out this year. I've got about nine more to add to it. I think I'm going to end up doing 9, hopefully 12.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for our player in LA to get his tracks back so I can keep pushing forward. But
Okay,
I'm going
cool.
to try to here.
So what we're going to do is play one of your songs, and then you'll talk about it. You might not hear it as clear as we do, but it's going to sound perfect out there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're in your car and all that. Okay, here we go.
There's an old roadhouse on Highway 80. Looking for a good time, they're always ready. You'll always find a friend who is willing and ready to dance all night. The band's all hot, they keep the dance floor swinging. Girl behind the bar know exactly what you're drinking. 2-step, 10-step, country swinging all night long. You'll find me there on a Saturday night. Dance floor's rocking, everything's alright. Everyone's partying like it's 1999. 2 white horses and a pretty little lady. She's always glad to see you walk through a roadhouse doors. Down at the Renegade. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Barbed wires ripping, Trappers on the bar, old southbound Johnny's that plays old guitar, old Whiskey Ridge and the Honky Tonk Kings, rocking the house all night long. You'll find me there on a Saturday night. The dance floor's hopping, everything's alright. Everybody's partying like it's 1999. 2 white horses and a pretty little lady. She's always glad to see you walk through a roadhouse doors. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Yeah, down at the Renegade. The crowd floods in, all excited. Handshakes, hugs, great big smiles. One big old happy family. Lisa's calling out the dancing cow. Old Chuck's there working it out. Cameras flashing everywhere all night long. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Come on down to the Renegade. We'll see you at the Renegade.
Tell us about that song.
So I play this place called the Renegade a lot with cover bands, and I just thought I'd write a song about it. And one thing I like about the song is it's only 2 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm starting to write shorter songs because some of my songs can be really long. This one got nominated at the San Diego Music Awards this year for Best Country Americana. What's interesting about this, I just did a derivation of this song with this new country cover band I'm with, and we have rearranged it so it's weird to hear the first one that you just played, because we do the second one so much different. The second one's more of a country swing song, more danceable. So that was weird. It's like, it doesn't sound right.
That's so funny. So let me ask you, when you write your songs, I'm a poet, so I'm asking you how it works writing songs. I'll tell you about me in a minute. But when you write songs, does the music come in your head first, or does the words, or is it a mix of both?
It's an idea will pop in my head. I'll just be doing whatever, and a phrase or an idea will pop in, and I'll start thinking about it, and then I'll start developing lyrics. I never write lyrics down. I don't write things down. When I'm writing a song, I do everything here first. And then once I kind of get the rhythm and everything, I'll sit down with an acoustic guitar and start scratching out the arrangement. And then once I've got that and the lyrics written, then I'll book time in the studio, and I'll go in and we'll figure out the beat of the tempo of the song, and then I'll scratch out the acoustic. Then we'll lay the drums down, bass, send it out to the guitar player, send it back, and then I'll do the live versions. And then we start adding backups and pedal steels and all the other stuff. And then we try to get it all done and spit it out. That's kind of the process. But it all starts with me, just an idea. It could just be a random thought. I'll go, that's kind of a chorus, and then I'll build the whole song around the chorus. It's
Okay.
like they say, chorus, get to the chorus, right?
Okay, so that's pretty cool. So, all right, do you have like a favorite song of yours that you wrote?
Yeah, it's called Again, and I actually wrote it because my son-in-law passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Left my daughter's and my granddaughter's life in shambles. So it's a song about her picking up the pieces and moving on and rebuilding her life. And it's called Again. And so the whole song is about, you'll get it together again. Just, keep on, spread your wings, get out there and keep moving.
Okay.
So I would say favorite. But, a lot of my songs aren't, I'm a songwriter. I'm not worried about doing something commercial, or I don't even care if people like them or not. I just write them.
Yeah.
They're just like poetry to music.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out, and if people like it, that's great. And if they don't like it, that's fine too. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I understand that. That's cool.
It's so funny. Mae West once said, "I'd rather be looked over than overlooked." And over the years, I've gotten to really understand that, because even when people don't like what you're doing, they talk about it. So they keep you
Right.
famous.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Good. I did a lot of stuff to get bad attention growing up. So attention is attention, right?
There you
So,
go. Wow. That's so cool that you admitted that. Yes, you're right. Okay?
we all want to be recognized,
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be talking about that. All right? So, all right. So now let's play song number 2, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, producer, here we go, guys.
Another night playing this old bar, watching people come through the door, looking for a woman no one can know. The room lights up, you know she's here, misses a note, takes a swig of his beer. It's gonna be another night of just pretend. He watches her as she dances by. She's smiles at him, looks him in the eye. A million words couldn't tell you how that made him feel. Well, he looks away, 'cause he knows that's right. Thinks of his life, everything's fine. Still he smiles, 'cause he can still feel. We've been down this road so long, we forgot to sing our song, and we forgot to dance the night away. You've always been here by my side, through all these songs and my late nights. I thank God you have always stayed. Take off these boots, only you take off my boots. Again, the night speeds on, he stands his ground. He's a good man, there ain't no doubt. He made promises he intends to keep. But life is full of unknown things. Why we choose is a mystery. Sometimes it feels like we've been bit by a rattlesnake. He watches her from afar as she walks out the door of this old bar. A woman no one can know. He smiles to himself as he thinks of her, misses a note, takes a swig of his beer. Oh, all these things make him feel like a kid again. We've been down this road so long, but we forgot to sing our song, and we forgot to dance the night away. You've always been here by my side, through all these songs and my late nights. I thank God you have always stayed. Take off these boots, honey, please take off my boots. Only you take off these boots. Again. Take off my boots, honey, please take off my boots. Won't you please take off these boots? Only you take off my boots.
All right, so come on, tell us about this song.
Okay, so I was playing an out-of-town gig with my country cover band.
I think we're losing you. It might be you're in the country driving. We're losing you, Mel. Oh. He's driving in the country. Okay, he's back. Go ahead, Mel.
Got me. So I was playing an out-of-town gig with my country cover band, and we were in a place called Parker, Arizona, which is on the Colorado River. And after the band, my feet,
We're losing you. I think it's because of where you're at. I know it's definitely the location.
Right.
Mm. All right, you know what, Ruben? Why don't we play his third song? Let everybody hear that, and we'll see if he comes back. Here we go, guys.
Little girl in this rusted, broken town looks out a window and all she sees is sun. Looks in her mirror, she sees a music queen, carried so far away by these old small town dreams. Big dreams and guitars and songs of country life, telling stories of her kinfolk and their strife, making it big in this dream world she longs for, to help a million people not to be poor anymore, chasing her dreams on this 10-wheel bus, chasing her dreams on a 10-wheel bus, leaving home. She hit this small town with a suitcase full of songs. Deep in her soul, this shouldn't take too long. Worked her voice and her fingers to the bone. Early riser, working coffee and the phone. Big dreams and guitars and songs of country life, telling stories of the kinfolk and their strife, making it big in this dream world she longed for, to help a million people not to be poor anymore, chasing her dreams on this 10-wheel bus, chasing her dreams on the 10-wheel bus, out on this road. One humid southern working night, old magic mister strolled in like heaven's light, giving everything she had in this old bar. With this old magic pen and paper, you're a star. Big dreams and guitars and songs of country life, telling stories of the kinfolk and their strife, making it big in this dream world she longed for, to help a million people not to be poor anymore, chasing her dreams on this 10-wheel bus, chasing her dreams on the 10-wheel bus, chasing her dreams on this 10-wheel bus, chasing her dreams on this 10-wheel bus. There she'll be.
Beautiful. Tell us about those two songs, Mel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Take Off My Boots, it's kind of an intimate song, really. it was inspired. A friend of mine helped me take my boots off at the end of a show. We were playing out of town, and she was there, and I said, "Hey, can you pull these off of here? You know, my feet hurt. After 4 hours on your feet a night, all you want to do is sit there and just go jelly, you know." So she pulled them off, and I just got to thinking how intimate that is when, or it could be romantic if someone takes off your boot. It's not like a servitude thing. It's a big, you know what I mean? And I got to thinking about my wife and my relationship with my wife and stuff. And there's only one person that can really take off your boots, and that's your person you're with, right? And so that's kind of what that song is about. And then 10 Wheel Bus, it's just kind of a fictitious story about someone that wants to make it big and just puts in the hard work and makes it big, you know. Kind of like Dolly Parton, you know. She showed up in Nashville and worked her butt off and got where she's at, you know. And that's kind of where that got inspired from. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I like most of the songs I sing have truisms in them, but they're not true. They're fictional stories, things I just kind of come up with.
Okay.
Could be layers of different people in them or whatever. It's just stories to music is what I like to do.
So tell everyone how they can reach out to you, how they can get your music, what's coming up.
Okay, so I got an album coming out this year. I'm going to call it West of Nashville because, you know, I'll never really be part of Nashville. They have a certain criteria for what they look for, and it wouldn't make no sense for me to move there because it's a 10-year town. So I've got this thing where, well, I can do everything I want to do west of Nashville. I'm out here in California, so I'm just going to write a bunch of songs and say, west of Nashville, this is what I'm doing out here. So that's coming out this year. And then people can find my music at www.rctstar. So that's RCTSTAR. So it's Red Crown Tourist, star.com. And then I have a Facebook page, Red Crown Tourist, that I post everything on there. That's how I communicate. I don't really use Facebook like normal people. Mm-hmm. You won't find me on Facebook. I'm Red Crown Tourist on Facebook.
Yes.
So
Okay.
surprised they let me get away with it, but and then I have an Instagram.
What's the Instagram?
That's it.
Okay. All right.
It's Red Tourist.
Oh, okay.
Talk about brand.
What would you like to say? I don't want you to forget something important. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, you know, the world has gone nuts.
Yes.
From when you and I grew up,
Yep.
you know, America, we still had this idea about America. Well, it seems like all that's off the table now. And the main thing that I would like to tell people is we can never be as good as God. God is the ultimate good. But we can die. We can die trying.
That's right.
And when we're as good as we can be in our life, we make the world around us a better place. And so I would just say, be as good as you can be, you know. And when you do bad things, don't let it sink your ship. Just realize that that's what grace is about. That as long as we're not just living badly and expecting to be forgiven, you know,
Right.
we got to. Right, we got to try, and then where we fall short, he makes it up because he wants us all home with it. But some people aren't going to make it. But I would just say, be as good as you can be and treat people as you'd want to be treated, just like the Lord said. Right. So,
You know, I was going to read a different poem out of my book, but I'm going to read some parts of my Jesus poem instead. Okay. But I do want to read one piece out of this poem for you, okay? This one was called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, talking about how everyone is born with something great to give, all right? But they just have to figure it out, okay? But I want to read some of the Jesus poem to you since you said all that. But I want to just read this for you. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Mell Schaer, will live forever, baby, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give to yourself and others is your reason to live. Your grave will be quite lonely, but your legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And that's what you're going to do, because you had said earlier that you want to leave your songs and the memory of you to your grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And you will.
Mhm.
You absolutely will.
Yeah.
I want to read just a few pieces of my Jesus poem, okay? Because I want everybody out
Okay.
there to know that he's not going to, he gives us free will, okay? So he's not going to impose himself on you. But if you want to come to him, his hand is there waiting for you, okay? So just understand this, that end times is near. The Bible talks about it. What's happening now is in the Bible. So if anybody out there is questioning God or the Bible, or reach out to me, I will pray with you, okay? Reach out to me. But I just want to read a few pieces of this poem for anyone out there who might be struggling with their faith, okay? I'm not ashamed to proclaim his name. I'm not ashamed, it's God I claim. The world stirs hate, but God stirs love. The world's lost faith is found up above. The world says God's a myth. The world says God is fake. God says I'm really here. God says I'm no mistake. The lost are broken, the broken are lost, condemning your soul, not sparing the cost. God says, listen, I'm here for you. Just come to me. I'll make you new. You laugh at him and curse his name. You dance with evil in this war game. Religion is false as can be, was made by man and not by he. I'm going to just read bits and pieces that I think are important right now, okay? Man made rules to cost a fee. The price of Jesus to you is free. Come as you are and don't pretend. He knows all things beginning to end. Let's see. Okay. Growing up Catholic made me hate church. Priests hurting boys made me now search. I couldn't believe God was in there. To me, church was evil and filled with despair. Then I found God, the real one I mean, not statues on crosses, but the God I have seen. I cried out one night, whoever's out there, please show me the truth, does anyone care? It was then that I heard him, as clear as can be. I'm here and I care, I made you for me. You are not alone, I will lead the way. I'll never leave you, your price I did pay. I'll protect you and guide you as long as you want. Tell me your sorrows, I'm your confidant. I'm your heavenly father, you're my earthly kid. There was a price on you from the highest of bid. It was then that I marked you and said you were mine. I knew at that moment you were made to shine. I'll never put rules on the way you should live. I gave you free will from my life I did give. But you have two choices. The choice is yours. There are two choices behind the doors. One choice is distant and it will bring pain, but one choice is closer and it will bring gain. My prayer is this, that you take heed to know the reason Jesus did bleed. The time is near, it really is. Will you be ready to say you're his? If anybody's struggling with their faith, please, please, please reach out to me, okay? I can help answer some of your questions, and I will certainly pray for you. So having said that, Mell Schaer, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and thank Kate and Gordon again for introducing us. You're amazing. Even though you're an old man at 63, okay? This guy called me old people, okay? I'm his age. Anyway, you're amazing. Your songs are beautiful. I love that you write so many songs and you want to continue to 120 songs. You got to do it, all right? So you rock. And again, you honored me today, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much.
Good. Thank you for having me on your show. I really, really appreciate it.
It was great, Mel. Keep me posted when you get close to that 120 songs, okay?
Okay, I will do it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Take us out, producer.
Can you handle the speed?
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. and in time this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is it really true? Is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.